Okay, so this is special. So hello and welcome to the Fisher Protocol, the show where saying the Who is the greatest band of all time is not subjective, but everything else is. Please take a quick second to like, subscribe, and share with your Who-minded friends. The Who is a passion of ours and no money is made from these videos. So liking and subscribing lets us know we are not alone in Wholand. Constructive feedback is always welcome, either in the comments below or at the new Fisher Protocol at gmail.com. And I spout Who-related content on Twitter and Instagram at Fisher Protocol. I'm Ethan. I'm being joined today by my best Who friend, Tom. We do not claim to be experts, just two guys who like to talk about the greatest rock and roll band of all time, The Who. Also, there is a Fisher Protocol now Facebook group page thing, which we'll see how long that sticks around. The Fisher, Tom, just between me and you, the Facebook Who groups are not healthy places to hang out.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yesterday I spent a lot of time on social media. I spent way too much time on social media. And it's why we're here today. We're doing a new episode of the Who News Network, and we haven't done one of these in a while because our band is an older band, and they don't make the news very much. But yesterday they made the news. The Who was trending on Twitter. And I thought, well, since we haven't talked about the Who in a week, yeah. And we actually just posted a video, a meaty, beady, big and bouncy review, which posted last night. So check that out, people, if you can. But the Who was trending, and we decided that it was a good time to talk about it because things were coming up, like the Super Bowl, and a new to me artist, Phoebe Bridgers, performed on SNL last night, and that's kind of the main reason why we're here, is because there was a lot going on yesterday with the Who on the internet, because of her performance, and we'll talk about that in a second because I think that's a big deal for the generation coming up.
Yeah.
But since we're in the time of the Super Bowl was yesterday, the halftime show that the Who did in 2013, I think. Is it 2000?
Yeah, it's technically 2000. No, not that.
No, or 16? What?
It was like 9.
Guess what?
2010.
I sometimes don't do any research at all. That's why I did the thing up front. So 2009, 2010, the Who did the Bridge Time Super Bowl halftime show. And yesterday I did put an opinion out there that I didn't think it was a perfect example of the Who. And, you know, those 4 little letters, IMHO, in my humble opinion, I think really go a long way. If I put that at the end of everything, I get shielded from a lot. So 1 or 2 people came back to say how much they enjoyed it. And unlike the concert for New York or the Sandy benefit, which I mistakenly called Katrina yesterday, events grow in your mind or shrink in your mind. Yeah. From when you first see it. So I hadn't watched it in a while, and it kind of had shrunk from my mind. So I rewatched it again, and I wanted to reevaluate. And I want to get your opinion of what you first thought when you saw the Super Bowl halftime show by The Who, and what you thought when you rewatched.
Yeah, no, I remember watching it and just being not nervous, but I was super pumped. And a lot of people know I enjoyed The Who quite a bit. And I remember watching it the first time live and just being like, I mean, I love the stage. There's a lot that I liked, and I thought they sounded decent. I thought they were actually playing. It's just those things you're looking for, at a halftime show. Like, are they lip syncing? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? Are they going to mess it up? I thought they were pretty good. Again, I love the lighting and the stage. Roger sounded pretty good. I think that was a weird part of, I think he was having some vocal issues at that time. But he sounded pretty good considering. And they tend to rise to the occasion wherever they're playing. Was it their best example of who they are and what they can do in a big prime time spot? Maybe not. Concert for New York is still going to be, number 1 for me. But no, I thought it was still good. Rewatching it last night too. I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was good.
Yeah, and I want to rewatch because I thought maybe I was being harsh. And, that concert for New York set up such an expectation.
Yeah.
For them. I don't know that it could ever be lived up to in my mind, unfortunately. And I was trying to get to the root of what I thought because, I played that video game Rock Band for a while, and they actually released the Who Medley. And we all know the limitations of the Super Bowl, and we all know people need to make backing tracks just in case there's a problem. If I'm going to because I don't know if I watched again, I don't know if there was a lot of lip syncing or not.
Yeah, I didn't notice. There wasn't anything I saw, because I was looking for it.
But to me, for the Who Live, that Pinball Wizard First Strike sounded too clean to be live to me. I could be completely wrong. The first chord, that E minor on Pinball Wizard, sounds too clean from what I know of Pete Townsend playing live acoustic and electric guitar. So I don't know if that part is pumped up, if some things are sweetened. After watching The Weeknd's performance last night, things are sweetened. And there was some sweetening in the Who's set, I have to think. Before we even talk about the one thing I really want to talk about is the audience sweetening. If there is audience sweetening, like I said, I can't say for sure. It's very hard, but I'd find it very hard to hear an audience saying that clearly it's only Teenage Wasteland. And you could hear them pretty clearly.
Yeah. No doubt.
At a Who concert, I can hear it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could hear it at the Super Bowl, and I don't know if I believe that part. It's really nitpicky Who stuff. We watch so many Who shows.
Yeah.
That we can pick these things apart. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to hate on this band. I love this band.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that, that short and set, in my opinion, if they had come out and done a full Who Are You, Won't Get Fooled Again, they probably would have done okay.
Yeah. But the songs I liked their little abbreviated version of Who Are You. It kind of got to the meat of it and the big power, the big windmill and that kind of thing. Won't Get Fooled, maybe a little, it's a real long song for Super Bowl.
Yeah. Agreed.
I thought Pinball Wizard was an interesting choice right off the bat to start the show. I kind of not live stream my notes, but just wrote notes as I watched it. And I said, right off the bat, I thought Roger and Pete's mics were live, but that was it. As I watched it, there was more that I thought, Pete was actually playing, just watching him play with volume knobs and the sounds that were coming out of his guitar and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was definitely playing. But would Bob O'Reilly have been a great opener? Yeah. Even my generation just didn't blast into that.
Did they play My Generation on it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
So, I'd switch out My Generation and Pinball Wizard every day of the week, twice on Sundays.
For this event, yeah, I think so.
But everybody knows Pinball Wizard too. So, I don't know how you pick it. Trying to think what else I wrote. The See Me, Feel Me, little interlude thing was a huge flub, I thought.
Yeah, I really think that without the listening to you bit, there's a great power loss there.
Yeah.
So did I enjoy seeing my favorite band of all time have a world stage? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I even think they did a mini concert before, a press conference too.
Yeah.
We said we don't understand anything about American football, but here we are,
Here's the kicker for me. So, live in Maryland, but a diehard Vikings fan. Earlier that year, Brett Favre got traded to the Vikings. Huge rival forever and ever and ever. Now he's leading his team, doing well. They're going to the playoffs. They're doing well. And I guess it's Thanksgiving Day. They always announce who the halftime show is, and it's The Who. And I'm going, holy shit. The Vikings are good. Brett Favre's the quarterback. My favorite band in the world is playing the halftime show. Is this going to happen? And they came a missed field goal away from going to the Super Bowl to play that year. I would have died. I would have gone to heaven.
That would have been amazing.
It would have been.
Everything's coming up Tom,
Yeah. I thought it was it. I was like, it's a sign from God. I was like, Dad, this is the year. It's going to happen. We're good to go. Everything's falling into place. Nope.
And that's why they sweeten the scream and Won't Get Fooled Again.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so and that's my last thing. I don't want to end on a really negative note. Like I've talked about this before, the sweetening of Won't Get Fooled Again. I didn't really want to judge this. I really wanted to go in it with open eyes, and I just watched it like not 10 minutes ago before we started the show. And the copy I found, the pure HD copy on YouTube, pixelates in a couple places, but there is a hard pixelation right at the scream of Won't Get Fooled Again. So I looked for another copy, and I found it, and there was a hard pixelation at the scream of Won't Get Fooled Again. And the scream of Won't Get Fooled Again sounds like the scream from the album of Won't Get Fooled Again.
Yep. No doubt.
On the world stage, you have your theme songs from CSI. You want to put your best foot forward. I understand. Roger Daltrey doing it. I understand Roger Daltrey doing it even for a crowd now, because they go and they want to hear Won't Get Fooled Again. And it's like the one song that he said, and he regretted it immediately, that he's not really into singing anymore. He
hates it.
And I don't blame him, but I can't be sure for anything on that performance was sweetened or not. But I'm 98% sure that the scream of Won't Get Fooled Again was sweetened. And as one of those live music aficionado people that I like to think I am in my brain, I don't think they can do no wrong. But that tweaks me just a little bit.
Yeah. The other disappointment for me, and I remember watching it live, and I had like not a bet with my mother, but she's a big fan, and I was like, they're gonna smash their shit. Pete's smashing a guitar. Why wouldn't he? Biggest stager in the world, millions of people watching. Why not do it? And I was so disappointed he didn't.
Which is weird because, it's so superficial to say that the hat and bandana was a problem for me.
Right.
A really superficial, annoying thing for anyone to say that what you focused on was the hat and the bandana, but it bothered me. And so if he had broken the guitar with that and somehow it didn't go well,
right,
that's the image you would have, and I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, even just one slam over the monitor would have been enough for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I get it. I have respect. But that leads into a good transition to the other topic we wanted to bring up.
Yes. So before I texted you yesterday morning saying, hey, man, I know you're working for a living at a real job, but this thing happened with Phoebe Bridgers on Saturday Night Live. Had you ever heard of her before?
No, and I think my reply back was, Google's Phoebe Bridgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had never heard of her before. I didn't know who she was. I knew she was on SNL that night. I just didn't watch SNL that night. No clue who she was.
3 weeks ago, I found out who she was. I was scrolling through the Twitter feed, and a Rolling Stone story came up about her, and she was wearing the skull outfit. And so my brain clicks to John Entwistle, and I kind of do a search for her. And I know it was 3 weeks ago because my Google search history says you looked up Phoebe Bridgers in The Who 3 weeks ago, and nothing came up. It was her thing. She wears it a lot. She wears it in a bunch of performances and videos, but there was nothing about The Who or anything like that. And in this world of Cobra Kai, Karate Kid being so popular, with the big scene in that movie, I don't know if you remember, where all the kids are wearing full skull outfits and everything.
Yeah.
You don't know, and you don't want to raise your hand and say, oh, they're doing a Who thing, or she is just a big fan. Because I listened to her music and I didn't see any kind of Who connection.
No.
So I didn't tell you about it and never talked about it. So I do watch Saturday Night Live on a weekly basis. Correction, I fast forward a lot of Saturday Night Live on a weekly basis. But I'm a big fan of Dan Levy. I've become a Schitt's Creek Uber fan recently. I think it's very funny. And so I wanted to watch this one, and I saw something about her and smashing guitar before I watched it. So I was like, not only am I going to watch, I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah.
When it comes to the musical act, because I usually don't.
Yeah.
And her first song is she's in the Get Up, right? But her whole band's in the Get Up.
Yeah.
I'm like, it could still be a Cobra Kai thing. It could still be a
Yeah.
The skeletons thing. And before we get into this big Phoebe Bridgers thing, I just want to say I haven't done a deep dive on her music yet. I don't really understand what it's about. And I'm going to now because of this.
Yeah.
And good on her, because that's kind of her whole point. She's got a whole, if people didn't know who she was Friday, they know who she is Sunday.
Yeah.
You know who she is. So good on her for, pulling that off. That's a coup as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I watch it, and the first thing that sticks out, and I'll just go over the second song real quick, and then I watch the second song and you see the guitar smash, and you're like, okay, well, you're basically raising your hand saying, I like The Who, or I'm influenced by The Who, or,
In some capacity.
In some capacity, they got to me, and I'm letting the world know that this is what that is, because you can't do this skull outfit thing, and you can't do the guitar smashing thing without putting them together.
Yeah.
And coming up with 2 + 2 = The Who. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
So you watched the first song, yeah?
I watched both, yeah.
The first song is called Kyoto. Okay. What stuck out to me besides the whole band wearing the whole outfit, I worked at a guitar store, so I'm always looking at the gear, and she was playing a BC Rich Bronze Series guitar. Now, for people who don't know what that is, that's a big pointy metal guitar. And, this might be a generalization, but I did work at the guitar store for a very long time. It's like if a kid is really into metal and he doesn't have a lot of money, this is the guitar he buys.
Yep.
They're $169 10, 12 years ago. I can't assume they're much more now. Hers, I don't know if it's sentimental, if it's one of the first guitars she got. Some people, there were so many negative comments. And if you're a guitar player, they're like, some people were like, why does she have a BC Rich with a capo at the 9th fret? I don't care about that. That's how she writes songs.
Right.
If that's how she writes songs, if that's how she wants to get her message across, fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's the guitar she's going to smash that I heard about. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And I did like the first song more than the second song.
Agreed.
Did you do any deep dive on the music or format? It's a very short time before we talked, so.
I didn't dig in too much. I pulled up her Spotify and tried to find some stuff, or YouTube, one or the other, and just that atmospheric kind of music stuff. I'm just not. That's never been my thing. I didn't dig too deep on anything. I didn't pull up lyrics or anything. I just kind of took it as a cultural moment of here's something that's interesting that happened, and I did some research just to see if there was any mention of The Who anywhere, and there wasn't anything that I could find.
Which is mildly annoying after the guitar smashing thing.
Right.
You would think there would be something there, but like I said before, musically, I didn't see much of a through line.
Yeah, no, and I'd be interested to see if anybody else has ever smashed gear on SNL.
I'm sure maybe Nirvana or.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I just wonder if there's another connection somewhere.
People really
skeleton outfit's just a weird thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a weird thing, and also to have the whole band do it.
Yeah.
What I did
there's 3 guitarists in the band.
I don't know, and that's the thing. I don't know too much about her. I don't know if she usually is a solo act, and she wanted to beef it up for the show. I don't know.
Yeah. I felt bad for her. She was catching some shit for smashing the guitar, and people were like, whoa. It's ridiculous. Somebody replied back, it's an $89 Dan Electro.
Well, it's not, I did some research on that, and I don't think it's an $89 Dan Electro, but it's a Dan Electro, it's baritone, because that's her main thing, and I'm sure she gets them off the line or however she wants them or whatever. That's what I'm saying. That BC Rich, if that's a special guitar to her, I'm sure that BC Rich, even though it's a bronze series, has been beefed up.
Right, yeah.
With extra things for her, unless she's don't touch it. She she said, but she did comment. She called Dan Electro or tweeted them to see if it was okay, and they're like, yeah, but they're really solid. They don't break easy.
No shit.
And if Billy Joe Armstrong or somebody's going to do it, what's going to happen because the Epiphone, the Epiphone Les Paul Jr. comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all know Pete smashed really expensive guitars and only got more expensive after he smashed them.
Can you imagine smashing Rickenbackers?
Listen, that's like a museum piece to me. You know what? Like I've laid my hands on a couple. You know what I mean? No, but I can't imagine really like hanging out and playing one unless I'm trying to play Mr. Tambourine Man or something.
Yeah.
Personally. No, I can't imagine smashing any guitar at this point.
I've always wanted to.
I have before in like some kind of fit when I was a child, but I did the math first in my head.
Right. Yeah.
Am I going to miss this guitar?
Yeah. Calculated decision.
Let's do this. And the second song I didn't like so much. I didn't like the horns in it.
No.
And even lyrically, I looked for some kind of through line for her and Pete, and I didn't see it. She's got more in line with even like Bruce Springsteen or the Killers pretending to be Bruce Springsteen, or even Florence and the Machine, someone in their room who wants to get out of their life.
Right.
Or something like that, which was never Pete's milieu, if I can use a French SAT word.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you see Katie Jacoby tweeted at her, the violin player?
Oh yeah, I retweeted that on the Instagram at Fisher Protocol, which was liked by Katie Jacoby, by the way, folks. So
nice.
Awesome. It is. She's liked a couple things. Katie Jacoby is amazing and awesome. I just want to say that, and her attitude is amazing and awesome. Someone even like tried to bait me into some kind of internet thing on the Facebook group about how even Katie Jacoby said she was trying to mimic the Who. Well, no one's arguing that.
Yeah.
Literally no one's arguing that. If you're young and you don't know, people are trying to bring it to your attention. If you're old and you're upset about it, you're just old and upset about it.
Right. Yeah.
And, it's hard for me to think why people would ever think that smashing a guitar is a new thing. Even without Pete Townsend, smashing a guitar is not a new thing.
No.
I did like her outfit in the second one, though. Everyone was still wearing the skulls, but she had a dress on that had like the pearls, the skull pearls. Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
And if anyone has a problem, like it's a pure physics problem. If she takes off that capo before she smashes that guitar, it goes much better. Because she grabbed it from under the third fret where the capo was and smashed it. If Pete smashes his from you got to hold the right neck and, do one of those.
They loaded some little sparks in the
there was some there.
Monitor for.
Yeah. No one caught any shrapnel though. So
no.
It's another thing. People are like, it's inauthentic. I'm like, I thought if the crescendo of the song went on 30 more seconds, it would have felt a little better.
Agreed, yeah.
It was like, we have planned this to smash the guitar. But the point is, she was trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
And she got people talking, which is what her main goal was.
Yeah. She was trending. So, hey, you did what you wanted to do. We're talking about it. I never would have talked about Phoebe Bridgers before that ever.
And I would like to make it clear, if anyone is a Phoebe Bridgers fan that decided to listen to this rambling, that unless there was this direct Who connection, we wouldn't be talking about it. You don't get money for this. This is not, am I trying to capitalize and get a couple more eyes because it was popular? I don't know, maybe. But,
yeah, I mean, if I'd seen it live, I would have been, just if it was her and she didn't smash guitar, yeah, I would have been like, okay, it's not bad. I wouldn't have turned it off.
But even with the outfits, we wouldn't have talked about it.
No.
But with the guitar smashing and the outfits, hey, man.
Yeah. There's 2 points landed on the graph.
Yeah. Pete Townsend kind of invented popular guitar smashing, and John Entwistle thought up of that outfit and wore it for the first time.
Yeah.
And got it sewn so tight he couldn't sit down at a festival with it. He had to stand up and play it. Okay. And that's why we're talking about it, because there is a direct Who connection there. But We got one more thing to talk about. I think we covered that. You know what I mean? You know, new artist. Gonna check her out now.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very much for me. And I preach all this, I want to be kind to everyone. I am perfectly capable of talking all sorts of shit about all sorts of bands. Those bands are usually called Styx. Anyway.
Yes.
Or Journey. Anyway, sorry. I posted something pretty negative about Styx last week. You saw that, right? Dennis DeYoung. Yeah. I think Come Sail Away is a great song as long as it's sung by Eric Cartman. I've said that before. Right. I just love younger people doing Who stuff. All right. So, oh, and another word about Roger Daltrey for all you people out there. When I see all these comparisons to Robert Plant and Roger Daltrey, or Mick Jagger to Roger Daltrey fought viral meningitis to sing for you. And I don't know if any of those other guys have done that, but Roger wanted to beat that to sing for you. So Roger is the best.
And he can actually sing.
That was Tom. That was not me.
I'll stand behind it.
Yeah, right. So we did post an meaty beady big and bouncy review. And we caught a tiger by its toe. Our friend Manager James posted a question last night, and I wanted to answer it for him now. Barry, did I tell you what the question was yet?
No.
Catch you by surprise, okay?
All right.
What do you think of Zak Starkey?
I absolutely love him. I don't know if there's a better fit. He's a clean playing version of Moon. That being said, he's done a great job of filling in and copying, you know, kind of what Keith has done or could do. Playing it very true. But I'd be interested to hear what he had to do on his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know he has some reggae albums out, I think.
Yeah, I've listened to like his other stuff, but it's not in the same vein, you know.
My answer is a bit long form. They always come with a story. You know what I mean? In I guess I want to say 1996 or probably before that, 1994 or 3 or something. I got a chance to see a member of the Who. So I would do anything for that chance, and it was John Entwistle, I might have told the story before, was performing with the All-Star Band, Ringo and his All-Star Band. I went to Wolf Trap in Virginia to see them, and Ringo has his kit up high, but next to him is another drummer's kit, and it's low, right? So you don't really see him. He doesn't have the bright lights, and he introduces him, and it's his son, Zak. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Ringo comes out, rocks my favorite jam of his, It Don't Come Easy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Does a couple other Ringo things. No one throws a peace sign better than Ringo Starr. I can tell you that much right now. Okay, him and Richard Nixon, the best, right?
Yeah.
And you know, with Ringo, I think it's honest and true and coming from love. He's like, I'm going to throw you the peace sign. Just don't ask me for anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was Billy Preston. It was Mark Farner from Grand Funk. It was Mark Rivera from Billy Joel's band. It was John Entwistle on bass. And I don't remember who else that might have been it. So Ringo does his thing. Ringo's like, I'm going to go for a song or two. Here's John Entwistle. And Ringo hightails it out. And then, you know, at some point, well, they do Boris the Spider. Ringo comes out, whatever. They do a couple other songs. I'm Getting Closer to My Home. Will It Go Round in Circles? You know, all these kind of like standards. And then Ringo's like, all right, I'm going to go now. I'm like, what's happening? Right? So basically what happened is John Entwistle and Zak Starkey proceeded to dismantle that audience in My Wife.
Oh, I'm sure.
My Wife. And Ringo can't hang with that song.
No.
And he can't hang with John Entwistle as a bass player. Sorry, Ringo's great. He can't hang with John Entwistle as a bass player. But Zak could.
Yeah.
And they destroyed it. Zach made a new fan that night. I was so excited to round out that show. Nils Lofgren, who lives nearby, came out later. They did some things. It was a great show. I got to see a member of the Who. I was over the moon. Since then, they came back with Quadrophenia twice, Greatest Hits tours, John died, Peanut. I don't know if I've ever seen another drummer with the Who. They've had other drummers in situations like Live 8.
Yeah.
And, while recording the album, Zach was on tour with Oasis.
Yeah.
So he couldn't be on the album. He is my live drummer with the Who.
Yep.
So I love Zak Starkey. He's also a really good guitar player. And those Target hi-hats on the Superbowl show were pretty badass.
Yeah, I did write that down. That was funny.
Yeah. So a very long answer to a very short question. We're big fans of Zak Starkey. Pete Townsend has gone on record more than once saying Who fans seem to think he is Keith Moon, but he is not.
No.
And I think Zach might actually use hi-hats.
Yeah, definitely.
He did not on the Super Bowl.
Nope. Yeah.
I don't think I saw a hi-hat on the Super Bowl. And I'm sure if he wanted to do a slam impersonation of Keith Moon, he could, but that's never been Pete Townsend's thing, to tell people to imitate someone else.
No, and he doesn't need to. You know what I mean? He can. I have no doubt you could put him down and then he could play anything that Keith played.
I'm sure,
You know
but
what I mean?
he plays his own style.
Yeah.
And being Ringo Starr has the sense enough to, when he's offered a full-time membership in the Who, he's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, I'm okay. I also want to go tour with Oasis, and I want to go to Jamaica and record this, and I want to do that. And by the way, my dad's a Beatle. I don't need to do anything.
Yeah. No, he's good.
And at this point, even with the All-Star shows, I'm sure he's played more shows than Ringo ever did.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, he's been in the band longer than Keith was in the band.
Been my only drummer with the Who, and it's crazy to think about. We talk about all these other drummers, and back in the Who Facebook group, they're talking about how Simon Phillips is Keith Moon with a couple more drums. And I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Like, in any way, Simon Phillips is a perfect drummer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Almost to a fault. He's a robot.
Simon Phillips is a machine.
Yeah. Oh, he's incredible.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And someone said, I know you know Simon Phillips from The Who, but have you seen him with Toto? And I go down this Toto rabbit hole. And, Keith Moon can't do the Toto things. Couldn't do the Toto things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Simon Phillips could play anything and it'd be perfect.
At any time for anyone. And, so I don't want to get off on that big rant there. But kind of Zak Starkey is almost in the middle. I think he can play anything. I don't think he's nearly as technical as Simon Phillips.
No.
Right? And Simon Phillips is the only drummer you could have on that 1989 tour.
Agreed.
But Zak Starkey, he's got that mod spirit of Keith Moon thing happening.
Yeah.
But also able to keep it going.
Yeah.
Keith was not able to keep it going.
Yeah, I don't picture, I picture Simon Phillips like showing up 10 minutes early, being just like really prim and proper. And you got Keith Moon, who would be, show up 3 hours late. I bet you Zach shows up a casual 5 minutes late. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good mix, I think, personality-wise. Skill-wise, I mean, Zach can play a lot of shit, but, I don't think he'd ever want to be the guy who has to, nail like a Neil Peart, kind of drummer, technical stuff.
But,
it looks like he's having fun.
What I like to call, I just came up with this yesterday, and this is where it gets really Who geeky here, so forgive me. Let's talk about the PPPs for a second, okay? The post-Pino players, right?
Yeah.
Like that, the triple Ps. There's Lauren Gold, right?
Yeah.
He's a piano player. There's Katie Jacoby and John Button on the bass. And I think John Button's a really good bass player. I think those two are great. Lauren Gold read my review of the halftime show yesterday. I felt a little like, man, if I wanted to tag him in it, I would have tagged him in it. Please don't. You know what I mean? I don't know where I was going with that, but those, you could call those musicians kids that are, while they're very professional, hardcore, awesome musicians, to get to the spot where they have it. There's also a starstruckness that they might have at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Zak Starkey doesn't have that.
No, that guy's hung around everybody cool in his whole life.
I mean, you can't really. There's no starstruckness with Zak Starkey. I think he fits in, and that's why you don't see him. I don't see him on social media that much.
No.
Stuff like that. He doesn't need that. You know what I mean? So, to make the answer longer, I love Zak Starkey.
Yeah.
Got off on a tangent there. That was a bit of a Who news. Stay tuned. We had Meaty Beatty up. Please go check it out. Hit me up on the tweets and the Instas if you want, at Fisher Protocol. And I think we've decided we're taking a little left turn into Pete Townsend Solo Land next time.
Yep.
White City. Listen to it so far. Apparently, David Gilmour's on that record.
Yes.
And they tell you in the first song with the sound that happens. And we'll talk about that more soon. Thanks for coming, everybody.